This is a brand new year, and what I love about the new year is the word new. To me, it means a fresh start, a clean slate. My sense for 2024 is that it's going to be a great year, a wonderful year of travel with new destinations and new experiences to be had. Now, before I kick off the new year, every December during the week between Christmas and New Year's Day, I do a little ritual of sorts of looking over the past year. I look at my finances and weed out anything that no longer feels good. I look at the people and things that have come into my life that year and assess them to see if I want to keep them in my life or release them with love and light. The things and people I want to release, I write down on a few sheets of paper and then burn it down to ash. I then take that ash and bury it into the earth to be released and recycled. And it's after that I set my intentions for the new year. And this year, I had some big aha moments that I want to share with you in these first 2 episodes of 2024. Hello, and welcome to the Anxious Adventurer podcast. I'm Katie Schlegel, your host. I've traveled to a lot of places around this beautiful planet, seen so many jaw-dropping sights, and have met some pretty amazing human beings along the way. Now, if you don't know this yet, I'm an anxious adventurer. If you're wondering what is an anxious adventurer, well, to put it quite simply, it means when I travel, I can get anxious or stressed out maybe a little bit easier or more often than the average person. However, over my many years of traveling, I've learned to tap into something special that makes traveling so much easier and more fun. That is my intuition. And the more I've learned to trust my gut during my travels, the more synchronistic, amazing, and even healing my travel experiences have been. If you're new around here, I'm assuming you found this podcast because of the name, because you too are an anxious adventurer. So welcome. This is a safe place to be yourself. My hope is that you use these travel stories, experiences, and tips as ways to help you tap into your intuition so you too can be swept off into the wonderful world that traveling can open up for you. Traveling can be so healing for people like us if you have the tools and understanding for it to be so. But you don't have to do this alone. I'm here to be your guide and to help you on your path to healing your anxiousness and stress around traveling. So get ready to fill up your cup with magical moments where you find out that this planet really is a friendly place. You just have to change the way you look at it, follow your gut, and step out your door. But don't worry, I am right here beside you. If you're not familiar with what I do, I have an online shop called Mariposa Skies, where I work with independent artisans around the world and sell their beautiful handmade fashion here in the United States. It's something that was born from my many travels and experiences around the world, and it's where many of my stories that I tell you here on the podcast come from. One of the things I always seemed to bring back from my trips were amazing pieces of fashion. I loved finding unique pieces to add to my collection. When I'd wear them, people would ask where I got those earrings or that shawl from, and I would tell them this country or that city. And the one thing I noticed was they would always walk away being a little disappointed not having a way to purchase it for themselves. Thus, I created a business that would allow me to travel, meet new people, and really share the beauty and diversity of this planet. Now that you know a little bit about what I do, or got a little refresher, I want to start this new year off on the right foot. So, I'd like to be honest with you for a moment. From the moment I started my business, Mariposa Skies, I have really struggled with 2 things. 1, figuring out my why, and 2, making money. 2 kind of important things, right? Through copious amounts of courses, reading books, doing a lot, and I mean a lot of training, my message always felt forced, muddled, or just all over the map. I couldn't quite figure it out, so I hired coaches, subscribed to memberships, and did so much research to try to find my why, because I felt like it was very much linked to having a successful business that makes money. And then, wouldn't you know it, this past December, it all finally fell into place. Here's the backstory. I'm hardly making any sales with Mariposa Skies. I'm not saying that to make you feel uncomfortable and feel like you should buy something from my shop. No, it's just an honest fact for the moment. I've been trying to figure out what to say, how to say it, using tactics that all the e-commerce people use to get purchases. But to be honest, none of it has felt authentic and aligned with my values. So, what happened in December to change all that? Well, I bought a masterclass from Regan Hillyer to learn how to manifest 10K months. I know, that's a huge goal, right? It's a 3-hour class where she teaches you the process and goes through the steps. And in the first step, she says you have to be truthful with the reason of why you want to make 10K a month. So I went through it. Well, if I made $10,000 a month, I could support and help more artisans around the world with my business. And yes, while very true, that didn't feel authentic. It just didn't ring truthful, which kind of surprised me because that's what I talk about all the time, is supporting the artisans. So back to the drawing board I went. Oh, I know, I thought to myself, so I can help women feel beautiful with these amazing handmade accessories. Yes, that was it. And yet again, when I sat there and thought about it, yeah, that was very true as well. But it still didn't feel authentic as to why I wanted to manifest $10,000 a month. So what's a girl to do? I really felt at a loss and kind of defeated, so I set that part of the process aside, hoping something would come to me. However, the one thing that Regan said was until I figure out my authentic reason of why I want to manifest 10K months, and until I'm aligned with that reason, then the process of manifesting $10,000 a month is going to be more difficult and probably not possible. So I mulled it over off and on all day one day. And the next morning, I sat down and really went back and thought about why I started Mariposa Skies in the first place. Back before I found the artisans, back before customers told me how beautiful they feel when they wear their accessories, back to the very beginning, the very start of it all. And this is what I came up with. Ready? I want to make $10,000 a month each and every month because I love to shop and I want to buy more things. I'm sorry, what? Now, I know what you may be thinking. Well, Katie, that's a really shallow reason to want to make $10,000 a month. And trust me, I was shocked too. But stick with me here. Every time I thought of this reason, I had a huge smile on my face, and it was like my whole body came alive with energy. But why did that light me up so much? It was a little confusing, I'm not going to lie. However, the simple and matter-of-fact answer is, I love to shop. As mentioned before, it's one of my most favorite things to do when I travel to other countries, cities, or towns. I always go shopping to see what I can find, buy, and bring back home with me. It makes me really happy. But true to form, I felt like there was more to this story. So I dug a little deeper. While it's true I want to make money so I can buy more things, I thought, why do I want to buy these things? What is it about shopping that puts a smile on my face? And the conclusion that I came to kind of blew me away. As I sat there thinking about this shallow reason as to why I want to manifest those 10K months, I remembered a recent trip that I took to Knoxville, Tennessee. And it was then that I figured out this key component with a little help of none other than the fabulous Miss Dolly Parton. Now, I'm going to stop here today, but I want to leave you with some questions to ponder. I want you to ask yourself, What are you aligning with this year? When it comes down to it, what are your values that really propel you forward? What do you desire to create with this new slate, this new year? Now, you have a couple weeks to mull these questions over until my next episode. And I want you to come back for part 2 with these questions answered. I think they will really help bring a sense of clarity to the path you want to take this year and the adventures you want to have. I'm telling you, there's something about 2024 that feels like everything is finally going to come together. But are you willing to allow the magic to take place for that to happen? I sincerely hope so. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I want you to come back for the next episode where I tell you all about the conclusion I came to. But before I sign off today, I want to invite you to come on over to join my community on Instagram at Mariposa Skies. Instagram is really the visual part of this podcast, and it's where I share more travel insights, talk about the fashion and the artisans I find on my travels, and help inspire you to get out and experience this beautiful world we live in. Also, wherever you listen to your podcasts, please follow, subscribe, and hit those 5 stars if you like the podcast. It really does help this podcast get seen and gain more momentum. And if you happen to be a listener on Apple Podcasts, I'd love it if you'd leave a review. And if you leave a 5-star review, I'll give you a shout out on the next episode. Until next time, wishing you happy travels and a happy new year. Besos. Mwah.